there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3, season 744 here on Amazing Idol. Wow, we only hope that we can go up from here because so far, season 744 has not been a promising one. Week 1, Gertrude, hey Gertrude, unfortunately was very, very wretched. Last week we lost our contestant. She didn't even show up on time to the studio. Well, if you're ready, let's meet contestant number 3 and see what she has in store for us today. Oh my, it appears as if contestant number 3 has a little bit of stage fright. Let's try it one more time. Contestant number 3, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you? All right, folks, it appears as if contestant number 3 is just gonna need a brief second in order to get herself together. I'm gonna run and get contestant number 3 some water and maybe take a walk around the block with her. You sit back, relax, and enjoy these commercial messages from our sponsors.
You worked too hard, you ate too much, the cheesecake made you greedy. Let your aching head and stomach hear this message from old Speedy. Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is.
All right, folks, thanks for sticking with us and enjoying those commercial messages from our sponsors. Guess what? I have great news. I was able to get contestant number 3 calmed down. Gave her some water, we took a walk, just kind of deep breathing exercises, but we got her calmed down. Contestant number 3, by the way, is Carmen. And right now we're gonna bring her to the stage and learn a little bit more about you. Hi, Carmen.
Hi. Oh, first, I just have to say thank you so much for showing me so much grace.
Oh, no problem.
And helping me to ease my fears. I have never, ever done anything like this before. Most of my work, my job, my everyday life is really behind the scenes. I don't do a lot in front of people, and I guess I just didn't realize how much stage fright I would have and how scary it can be to sing in front of millions of people here on Amazing Idol.
It's okay, Carmen, because guess what? That's what we're here for. We're here for you, our contestants. So, Carmen, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do for a living.
Well, my name is Carmen. I am from San Diego, California, where I do a lot of work, like I said, behind the scenes. I don't like to be out in front of people a whole lot. I do a lot of like helping people find things behind the scenes.
All right, well, Carmen, if you are set, I'm gonna get off stage, let you sing your song, and without further ado, Carmen, take it away.
Thank you. I'd like to sing a portion of one of my favorite hymns. 'Twas grace that...
Wow, talk about being afraid.
Yeah, poor Carmen.
Raise your hand if you've ever been afraid before. Definitely. How many of you have ever had stage fright before?
I'm not even brave enough to get on a stage, so I don't even know if I can talk about stage fright. I'm not even brave enough to like get up on stage and sing in front of people.
Listen, every time I get up in front of a group of people, I turn bright red and my hands shake.
Yes,
You would think that I'd be used to that by now because literally that's my job, but still afraid to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of being afraid of things, though, there are things that we can be afraid of in life, such as being afraid of the dark, thunderstorms, loud noises, our future, financial stability, where we're gonna live, how we're gonna eat. And probably a really big one that, even though you might not recognize it, weighs on a lot of people's minds is the fear of death, dying. Where are we gonna go? What's gonna happen? Well, guess what? As Christians, we don't have to fear that. In fact, we don't have to fear anything.
No, God's grace, what Jesus did for us on the cross, shows us that we can have total and complete trust in Him. We don't have to fear the unknown. We don't have to fear the things that are around us because we know that each step of the way, God is with us. And that began the minute that we became part of God's family through baptism. God's grace has been with us since the beginning.
So as we heard Carmen start to sing in our thing, today's stanza was, "'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed." If you take away anything from today's stanza, please let it be the word grace.
Yeah, in fact, it's mentioned 3 different times. How many times can we say grace in one video? But it is so important that you just never forget that God's grace, what He did for us on the cross, takes away all of our fears.
And we have this grace at no cost to us.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus loved us so very much that he was willing to die for us on the cross, but he didn't stay dead. He rose on Easter Sunday. We have complete forgiveness of sins. We have comfort. We have joy. We have eternal life in heaven. We have this gift of grace and mercy. It is given to us because we could not earn it ourselves.
Yeah, so if you've been going through the devotions with us, this second week, you're going to notice some different stories about people who had some fear or some different issues come up that might lead them to have fear of the unknown. And so as you read this week, just remember that the examples of stories that we see here are just more examples of God's grace in those situations.
And grace coming through. I mean, if you were Abraham and willing to sacrifice your own son, wow. But we see that God's grace proved there in that situation too, because God made it so that Abraham didn't have to sacrifice his son. So as you continue through this week, we just ask that you remember grace. Grace is given to us. It is earned by Jesus' death on the cross and his resurrection. We don't have to do anything for it.
And it takes away all of our fears.
So take a deep breath, because it is such a relief to know that Jesus has it all under control. He is bigger than any fear that you could possibly think of in this world. God created the world. I don't think he's going to let us be afraid of it. So keep that in mind. Keep on believing, and we will be back here next week as we see the fourth contestant. Wow, the fourth week. The fourth contestant on Amazing Idol. I hope this next one does a little bit better than the last three, but they have all had a very good message. So until then, have a great week.